Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be going and picking up some hay bales, some grass bales, stuff for the cows. They're due for a good feeding. We just got back in, or I just got back into town last night. Back on Grandpa's farm, and Dirk, he had to go to a business trip, and he's inbound currently. He said he would either be here probably this afternoon or early tomorrow morning. But he's on his way. He's not here yet. So I'll be going to feed the cows. Also, Jim, one of our distance neighbors here, he is actually out on vacation and asked if we could go ahead and spray his fields. It's overdue for spraying, and he just has had a lot going on here recently, and so go ahead. No problem. So I'm going to take care of that. So I'll be headed to the distributor to pick up this stuff for cows, and I'll be back here shortly. Alright, everybody, I'm back at the compound. Just got the cows fed. That was a chore in itself. I figured I didn't skip showing all that. But now I'm on my way to spray Jim's house. I do need to swing into town, pick up some fertilizer. Not sure if I have enough to get it all done in swoop. Alright, everybody, I figured I better go ahead and tag you along. Got my fertilizer filled up, and we are on our way to Jim's field. Actually made us a contract for us, so we're getting some money from this to pay for our time and fuel and fertilizer, so it's a win-win for us all, I think. Hopefully Dirk is getting pretty close. I haven't heard from him. Supposed to be here either this afternoon or tomorrow morning. He was thinking this afternoon, though, so I think we should be good. And the good news is that it's almost time for us to begin harvesting our wheat as well. To the field. care of. Back to Jim's house and pick up the money, and yeah, head to our house and see if Dirk's made it back. It's a nice truck. Mailbox over here. What the heck? There's nothing in it. Jim. Guess I'll be a nice guy and close his garage. He said it was here. Looks like he transferred it. Alright, let's go find out who's in this white truck. The camera's still going off. Hello? Hello? What's it doing in this garage? Dirk, are you home?
Hello?
Hey,
Yeah.
when'd you get in?
Um, about maybe 30 minutes ago, roughly.
Whose white truck is this?
That's mine.
Oh, there you are. This is
Yeah.
yours?
Yes, the company gave me a work truck because they needed something that I could go drive around on the job site. And they got me a nice F4 or F450. Has all the bells and whistles. Has good transmission in it. Has a fifth wheel attacher. Had to have a hot shot bed, and because I tow some of the stuff, you know, coming back and forth. So I definitely wanted something that would do all that. So they said they could set me up with that because I have one superintendent above me that manages all the like work trucks and everything. But I have one that's kind of like the owner of the business, I'm not the owner of the business, I'm the manager of the big plant that we have there.
Yeah.
Um, but there's like one guy, and he's like, okay, we're gonna give you this because I went, and then I had to go overseas. I didn't know if I tell you for my business trip. I had to go overseas, and
Where'd you go?
I went to Germany. They had some safety classes, and I know a weird place to put it was in Germany, but I think we could have done it in the U.S., but it was gonna take another 2 weeks on another business trip because we were gonna have to wait for a flight to get out, and because I think it was from here all the way to like Alaska or something. It's very far because we need one for a big group, like a
Yeah.
ginormous group. So it takes us a lot to get, we have to get either a private flight or a big commercial flight. Then we have to get everybody shipped over there, and then we have to find a date that works with everyone. So between all that, it takes a little bit to get a just a schedule. So, but I've been gone, and uh, I put a CB in that. I had my headset going, and got a ticket for speeding. Got a ticket for speeding. Had my headphones in. I wasn't thinking about it, and I was sitting there, and I just had my. I had had my. I had been going a little bit faster because there was no one on this road, but it was raining a little bit. So I was like, I can't go too fast, but I can go a little bit over the speed limit. So I go going, and there was this shadow that came over. It was kind of like the trees were all, making a shadow because it was dark.
Yeah.
And it was just a shadow. And all of a sudden, I see this police cruiser just pull out, and it just sends it towards me. And I was like, oh, I better slow down. So I slowed down, but he ended up giving me a speeding ticket anyways. I was going.
Oh.
Apparently, I had set. There's this thing where if you can keep it at a certain speed, you can set it to keep at the speed, kind of like cruise, but it doesn't. You're not. It doesn't. It's not like adaptive. It's more of as soon as I get to that speed, I'm not having to set it to a speed. Just the speed that I'm at, it'll stay like that at that speed.
Oh.
And it has all three of those. So I was going, and I guess I had it at 90, and me not thinking about it had just clicked on that, and I was sitting there, and it was doing it, and then that's when he did that. I was like, oh, I better slow down. So I slammed on my brakes, and he gave me um
Ticket.
$175 ticket. So that was cool. So,
Well, that's
but yeah,
nice.
yeah. But also, I'm gonna
I
have
do
to do a
like
lot
it.
of my work in here. Yeah. I'm gonna have to do a lot of my work in here. That's partly why they gave it to me. I'm not really like, even though I'm at home, I'm not 100% just really at home. I have to work all the time. So they got me a computer that's mounted in there. It's not really mounted in there. They got an extra little dashboard type thing in there that does CarPlay and stuff like that. So, but they've got certain apps where they can have it stream from a laptop and go into it. So I can do all my work on there and not have an issue.
That's cool.
Yeah. So what's been happening around the house?
Well, I just got in last night, and
From where?
oh, from Arkansas.
Yeah. Actually, the
Uh,
reason it took me a little bit longer to get down here, I was actually going to be down here, um, 2 or 3 days ago, but ended up I had to travel back to, and I can't think of the town. Dang it. I wonder. I know where my work is. I'm just having to think of the town. Whatever the town name is called. I think it's in Nebraska, but um so we went, but then somebody ended up flipping. Well, really what had happened is their hydraulic broke, but it was like midway and they were kind of on a curve and all the dirt it kind of just dropped and all the dirt slid forward really really fast and
yeah.
he was already leaning a lot and it was already raining, so he was slipping, and he slipped, and it kind of just, he went to go turn his wheel to try to make it not slip, and it kind of just flipped it because it pushed it the other way when it was slipping. So
Yeah.
basically, I kind of turned it around, and it just flipped and toppled over. And it was just because
Oh.
he slid, and then the dirt slid from underneath him because he was dumping, and then it just slid. So he was leaning, he was on this hillside, and then the dirt that he was just pouring, the hydraulic broke, and when it did that, it made all the dirt go everywhere. But the dirt that he was pouring, he was still in, so he like went to go hit the gas, and then that's when he slid.
Oh. Is he okay?
He was fine.
Good.
Yeah. I had to end up go and we had to. I had to go in. We had to go to the emergency room, and that was just about it. Wasn't much more than that. So that was good. But
Um. Yeah. The wheat.
mhm.
The wheat's getting pretty close to being fully grown. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping within the next month or two it's ready to harvest.
Mhm.
Cows are doing good. I checked on them this morning. I fed them.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then I just got back. You saw me pull up, maybe you did, or at least heard that I pulled up in the sprayer over here.
Yeah. I I got these the CBs that I was using.
Yeah,
They have these. You could semi. We could. I could semi hear everything in a good distance. I couldn't hear you because I don't think you were using your CB. But when you were coming back from Arkansas, I'm assuming you took the truck because I did hear the CB click on then when I was driving.
yeah.
I was pretty close, but yeah, if you took the truck, I heard. Who'd you go with? Did you go with? I know Jim's on a business trip. I know Charlie's back. Didn't he go to the truck show with you that went in Arkansas?
Yeah, Charlie did.
Okay, so if you were talking to him, that sounded like it. I heard you, but I didn't have enough reach to reach you. Like it would carry out, but we were also getting packed with others, so it was kind of breaking out. But I did hear your voice just a little bit. But on the way back, blew a guy's doors off. He was going, and he went, and he comes out, and he goes, and it's raining too still. And it's the same highway that I got pulled over on. He pulls out in front of me. And it was It was another truck. It looked like, kind of like a work truck. It was probably an F550 instead, though. It wasn't a F450, so a little bit different, speeds and a little bit less weight. So he goes, she gets straight in front of me, and I'm running at least 10, roughly 10 over the speed limit. Running, he gets in front of me, slams on his brakes, like just slams on it, lets him ride for a good distance, probably 10 yards or so. He just lets his brakes ride all the way. So then I was like, well, that was for no reason. So, but he was talking on the CB, and since mine pulls a lot of wattage out, you know how ours always, because we can go and we can get one with a lot of wattage, and then it reaches a little bit farther. We can do all that stuff and put the repeaters in it, all that stuff. So, ours are super, super powered in watts. Isn't that
Right.
like what? Yeah. So I go, and he was talking on the CB, he was talking trash, and I go, I wonder if this thing would make his CB fry. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, it probably would. Go, press it, watch the thing just start smoking. I'm like, okay. And then go, I didn't think it would do it. It apparently had enough, but just watch him right next to him. I just went, shh, like starts smoking. He starts freaking out. It was pretty funny. I don't advise doing that because it definitely pulls a lot of wattage because you're overtaking another CB, but I watched this thing start smoking, and I was like, well, you done there. It's like, kind of your own loss, you slammed on your brakes, and I about hit you, so. And he's talking trash, too. I was like, I just am driving like a normal person. He told me, do I have a mental disability because I had to slam on my brakes, too? And I was like, you know what, that's dumb. So, yeah. But, so what are you gonna do?
Well, I think we're just about ready to cut grass.
Yeah, we can, but it's not growing very well. I
You
do
want
need
to
to
take your
see.
truck?
Yeah,
Drive by
if
it?
you want to get in my truck real quick, I do got a work call real quick. 1 second. No, 1 second. We got to order a truck. I forgot. Okay, 1 second. Let's start up. I need to get automatic garage doors for these, motion censored or something, for only certain cars. But here, 1 second. Let me order a truck. I got a work call on. What's up? So the truck order for Kelly is different. Kelly has his trucks going over to whatever bridge is getting built over on that highway, but Kelly has his going over, and then we have, well, we can have both. I don't know. We can have both go over there, but if you have lease trucks out, it doesn't really matter. We have lease trucks out, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So just take those lease trucks over there to Kelly's spot where the bridge is getting built, so then we can pave it. But once we're done paving it, we need to get back to building a pad for that building over there, that big gas station. So, but after that, we need to, well, because the bridge is almost done. So as long as you guys can get that paved today, you guys are just about done. Okay, I'll see you, but just make sure that happens. Okay, bye bye. Sorry, work call. We have a bridge getting built and the gas station getting built, and one's got to get paved today. And the pavement, if you're ripping up the pavement, it sticks to your bed. So we had to get a diesel truck out there to go wash it out with diesel, because it'll eat up on it. So we were gonna have it wash out on diesel. So we had to get a diesel truck shipped over there. Well, then one of the pavers was down, and that was our big paver. We were only going to bring one because of the big paver, so we had to get these like 4 or 5 little small ones and we had to lease them and get them out there, and then the lease trucks have to get over, so then they can dump asphalt, and then it has to get paved. So just have to do that, and then but this truck does handle pretty well. It's almost like the same model as my truck. I didn't want a bunch of stuff with it, like, you know, the lane keeping system. I'm okay with that, you know. Sometimes, especially on the road trip, you know, I had it going back and forth, and the Blue Cruise. So then I could, because the work calls, that comes in real good handy when you're had the phone, when you have, you know, your Bluetooth and dashboard going, and you're also trying to drive, but you're also writing stuff down on a notebook and your laptop, and you're typing everything up. It worked pretty good to have. So, but they got me the 7-year Blue Cruise contract type thing, not really contract, but thing, so I can use that. But it only works on big highways. It works on both, but it's. Wait, where are we going again?
To your right. We're over the grass field.
Yeah. Oh crap! I didn't turn my blinker on, but it's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. It's just not been growing a lot, I don't think. It's not growing too bad, but it's not growing great.
Yeah, I need some more rain.
That wheat, it says for the best yield possibility, it'll be done in August.
Really?
We can. Yeah, there's a big gap. So for the best yield, though, for Missouri, they say with our soil type, I got samplers to come out. I called some for the whatever it is. They went and sampled the dirt. They said it'll take about till August. You know, mainly harvest season. You know, corn is October or whatever, but August we'll have all the. August, they said we'll have the best yields, the best outcome as money-wise. And I know we don't have any debt, you know, but still, instead of having to go through, because, you know, I'm going to be at work, you're going to be gone, but I had people come out and they sampled all of our ground that was wheat. I said grass, you know, grass will grow. It's not really worried about it because it'll about grow anywhere. So I told them everything with wheat, you know, and they said for all the soil types, because, you know, all of our fields are kind of bunched together.
Yeah.
They said for all of our soil types, it will probably take at least till August. So I was like, okay, that's a long gap, you know. So we'll have to go through, but I'll be at work. We'll have to find if we can get somebody to come out every once in a while and just feed the cows. You could probably come and stay at my house, but right now they're all taken care of with the robot feeders and stuff.
Yeah.
But if you come to my house, you know, we can do a lot more with each other, and we also won't have any, we also won't have to come back a lot if we can get somebody to come, because all they'd have to do is get the skid steer right next to it, go in, and the guys know what to do at the shop. So, but we have to, because I have to be there in 2 weeks, or
In Nebraska?
I have to yes, in Nebraska, or I have to go back, and because I'm meeting with the big boss. I've never ever met like the boss right above me, like the owner, the founder, or whatever. I've never ever met him. So I'm gonna meet him. We're gonna have a meeting with him, and then I'll have a yearly evaluation from what I'm gonna get paid this year, and then it'll probably be less than what the outcome is because it's like my first year, you know. We'll have my yearly evaluation, because that's based on the years. Like, so the time that I started, like 2 months ago, you know, he was gonna pay me the amount because I had put off what they've not done in about a year. So he's gonna equal me about to the amount of a year because I did what they have not been able to do for about a year now.
Oh.
So
Nice.
he was gonna do it for a year. But we have done, they said they were going at a way slower pace, like they would get 3 jobs done and equally to a year. because they would take on the such big jobs, and I'm like, why don't we take on these? But because they were putting an auction for, like, they'd auction this out for, let's say $15 million, because that's that when I showed up, that's what we had going on. It was kind of a mess. Wasn't very, just wasn't very organized. So I said, we got to finish this job. This is our main priority. So then I said, how about we take on these at least $1 million things to $5 million things, get the outcome of having $5 million back, and then we can finish 6 or 7 jobs at a time. So once we finish all of those things, then we can take on a big job instead of auctioning 6 big jobs and then trying to rush to get them finished.
Right.
But we were having some issues just with some people that are not wanting to. There was a guy that we had in front of the heavy haul stuff, and he was supposed to have, he was having his yearly evaluation with me, and he was putting out the outcome, and the guys above me, like the superintendent, the guy above, because I get paid I get paid more than superintendent, but the superintendent is above me. By a little bit. Just has, whoever gets paid, and then they have the big boss, the founder. But that's the founder's son is the superintendent. That just was put in this year. The founder's son had not been it. Because the founder's son, the promise was that the guy that was taking heavy haul and dump trucks, which means he all orders the trucks. Like, I do that too, but he orders all the trucks. He orders all the heavy haul stuff. He does that. So he does that, and then I do the 2 other things, which is financial and I also do what he does, but I do a little bit more of it. So the founder's son, and the guy, right out was supposed to get paid roughly, like, his guys that he was in charge of were getting paid around $1,000 a week, and then he was getting paid $550 because he was staying on 3 jobs. And they said, well, if you can pull off these 3 jobs, if you can pull off these 2 jobs by the end of the year, we will give you your, let's just say, your
Bonus?
what?
A bonus?
Kind of, but more like just a set paid thing for the entire rest of you work there. And then they could take it out, but not really like a bonus, more of just a promise get paid unless there's lower performance or there's a break. And so I go in, the boss, or the guy right above me, the founder's son, which his name is Noah, and then the guy above him name is Jack. So Jack, like, superintendent, founder, CEO, everything in this company. Son named Noah. So Noah goes in and he says to him, here, we can get back in the truck, but I'll tell you the story too. We can get back in the truck, but he says to him, he puts it off, Noah does, and Jack hadn't been, you driving or no, I'm driving?
Oh, you can drive. Sorry, I didn't mean to get in there.
Yeah. Noah says that he didn't know because it was between me and Noah and the guy, and he didn't know, and he goes and tells them, he goes and he puts it off for about 3 or 4 weeks, and then he has me talk to him, and I'm like, okay. So told me he's not getting, so he was getting paid $550 per week. Well, now he's getting paid, even though he's doing a way bigger job, they just needed him after 6 months, blah, 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 blah. So, he goes through and, he says he's gonna get paid something, so they go through, put it off, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk to him. So I go to talk to him, get the news from Noah. He's not gonna get paid what he was. He was promised. He's putting out the same work for us and the same hours, and actually more hours than normal. So we were like, okay. So I definitely thought, I thought I thought that he was going to get paid what he was supposed to get paid, but he ended up getting. So now he's going to look for a new job. So now we have no one in front of the heavy haul. So kind of sucks. And so now that's why I've been so busy, and that's why I was gone for a month. So that's why I've been gone. If you wanted the answer to that, that's why I've been gone. But I was gonna drive back to the shop, but I guess I took another route. But we can. I don't know what we were gonna do exactly, but I do need to run in here to the shop and see what there is, because I probably do need to pick back up on that. But actually, the guys have been. They said they knocked everything out. Now, by the way, I have to tell you something. We are not going to be able to make it to SEMA this year.
Okay.
We just don't really have enough time. And second off, you know how you kind of apply for it. You know, like you have to be, what you know. So we go in and we're supposed to get it, but we can't really because I'll be busy. I'll be gone that week. I'll be gone in Alaska that week, so I won't be able to do it. But going back to Alaska, that's where our other plant is. That's where we get all of our dirt from in the summertime. It's not frozen, and then we can get it back, and then we transport dirt. I don't know why we do that. It just seems kind of a dumb reason because we're transporting dirt from here, even though we have close to the same dirt there, and we're having to wait till the summer, so we stockpile it in the summer, but then we do it. So it's a weird mix of what we do. But do you want to call it? Do you want to? See, I haven't slept for a whole 24 hours. So I was about to go take a nap when you had said. When you had knocked out my door. So I was about to take a nap. So I was about to take one, and then I heard you knock on my door. So I've been up for a while. I've been trying to get home because I was ready to get home. But I had to run into another state to go to that thing, and then I've probably been awake for roughly 25 hours. So that's always cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you need to get some rest, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I don't really have much to do on the farm right now.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just put the sprayer up and
Yeah.
maybe just watch some TV. I need to relax too.
Yeah, well, see, and I also have a bunch of work to do, so I stayed up a little bit trying to do that, and that's why, but I had to do that in the car, and then it got to a point where I was having to end up just, pulling over, so that's why it was a little bit later. I was supposed to get here roughly 7, but then I slept for 4 hours. No, I only slept for 1 because there's no sunshades or anything to lay on in there. So I slept for about an hour, and it didn't give me anything. I still felt like crap, so I'm probably going to go to bed.
Okay. Alright, well.
But,
maybe we'll touch base here in a couple more days then.
okay, sounds good. Alright, I'll see
Talk to
ya.
you later, Dirk.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Alright, everybody. So Dirk's made it back. It's a busy schedule. Farm is pretty much on standby until we can start really hitting it hard with the harvest. You start mowing the grass once it's ready to cut. I'm going to get a baler. And we can take it from there. But yeah, lots more things to happen on Grandpa's farm. And hopefully we'll get back to Nebraska as well. And we will catch you in the next one. Take it easy, everybody.